Hey, welcome back, everybody. Sarcasm speaks, Jared and Bob, and I want to put a bow on this this dumb Thanksgiving stuff real quick. Because I know by the time this comes out, it'll be the Monday after. It'll be December 2nd, right? So it's officially Christmas mode for everyone else. But my last little rant about this, we've talked about this a little bit before, is the whole thing on leftovers, right? Thanksgiving leftovers. People are like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm super excited. I can't wait for my leftover turkey and all that other shit." Well, when you do Thanksgiving correctly, um, the leftovers are even better than than before, right? If which it's just common sense, right? If you think about it, um, if you have a superior product, the leftovers are going to be superior, right, to the other leftovers. So what I did, right, for Thanksgiving, right, obviously I had a turkey breast, right, for Amy and my mom. She came down, so but I also got a prime rib. I found like I think it was like a 3 or 4 pound prime rib. Um, So I put that on the smoker. Um, Came out fantastic. Loved every second of it. So I got prime rib on Thanksgiving, right? Thrilled about that. And then for leftovers, I still had prime rib, right? So leftover prime rib is way better than leftover turkey because fresh prime rib is better than fresh turkey, right? So I had enough prime rib where I had steak and eggs the next morning on Friday morning. Um, Then I also had prime rib for lunch yesterday and today, right? I finished it today. Um, and then I had some leftover biscuits as well. So again, this is the whole thing, right? So everyone's like, "Oh yeah, no, your leftovers, you got to make a Thanksgiving sandwich, right? Like, oh, you got to make the sandwich." Okay. Well, I had extra biscuits, right? Leftover biscuits, and I go, well, all right, what can we do with this? It was actually Amy's idea, so I'll give her the credit. She goes, we should do biscuits and gravy for breakfast. So I was like, that's fucking incredible. I love biscuits and gravy. So I made biscuits and gravy for breakfast on Saturday morning. So I believe not only did I do Thanksgiving correctly, um, the leftovers were way superior as well. Right? So you got steak and eggs on Friday morning, you got biscuits and gravy on Saturday morning, and you got prime rib on Thursday, uh, and then Saturday, Sunday. I don't know if I ate it on Friday. Maybe I did. Who knows? But yeah, just the way to go.
Well, I'm still just like the whole leftover thing is like it's so again, it's so fucking stupid. Like, oh, leftover turkey soup. It's like that sounds awful.
That sounds disgusting.
That sounds terrible. And it's like, oh, for Thanksgiving, I gotta save room so I can have a Thanksgiving sandwich. It's like have to.
Yeah.
Half of these fucking sandwich places have a fucking turkey gobbler,
Yeah, you
like
can literally get a
year round,
Thanksgiving sandwich from anywhere, anytime you want.
almost year
D'Angelo's,
round.
I'm pretty sure D'Angelo's has a pretty good one.
Well, even then, if you're like, well, D'Angelo's sucks, it's like, well, have you had their chicken Caesar wrap? And then two. Yeah, probably, but like there are sandwich shops that have turkey gobblers. Like
Right, right.
not that hard. But it's just like again, the fascination with the fucking turkey leftovers tells you all you need to know about fucking turkey is that it sucks. People
Yep.
would rather fucking eat it cold and repurposed. And that's the thing. Like, so if you can take turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, and fucking cranberry, because it always ends up being cranberry. It's like cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
So if eating those things on a plate isn't that good, which it is not, then you put it in a fucking calzone and it tastes better. Maybe it's because calzones are good and not because it's the fucking food.
Yeah. Hey, what a concept, huh?
What an idea, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, if you need to like if your meal sucks that bad that you need to do that much work to repurpose it, it's like why? Just just why?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. The fucking the Thanksgiving leftovers are just fucking it's way overblown. Everyone should just eat porchetta on fucking Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I mean, that's phenomenal. I'm kicking around the idea of doing one for Christmas.
Wrong. Prime rib again.
Well, yeah, no, no, no. I'm also going to do prime rib,
Mm.
but it might be
It's a lot for two.
I think we're doing, well, I think we have more people coming here for Christmas.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Also, you got to make sure your cooking vessels are up to snuff because,
Well, that's the only thing that would stop me is I would like to do both of them on the smoker. And I have the space, but because I have one of the whatever, the iron fucking claw 650 whatever thing, but I just don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea, right, to put them both in the smoker at the same time because one would have to go on the top rack, one would go on the bottom. Obviously, I'd probably put the porchetta on top because then if the juices fall, it's going to fall on the prime rib. So actually,
yeah, it might be
maybe
too.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, honestly, though, it might be too much.
Yeah.
Well, because even like, because so I fried a turkey and I made a porchetta.
Hmm.
So based on Dad's giving and me losing track of the smoker because I couldn't give my undivided attention to it, I
Right.
was like, well, we can't do that again. Plus, it was raining, so
Yeah.
I actually fried the turkey in the garage, um, which was just not even nerve-wracking. Um, at one point, I'm
Yeah.
standing in there and I'm
Brand new
like,
house. Well,
yeah,
new to you, at least.
yeah, I'm like standing in the garage at one point going, probably need to go stand outside, get some fresh air before I fucking pass out in here. Just fucking propane. And like one time, Michaela's like talking to me in the door. I go, "You gotta shut that door. Like there's fucking propane flowing through this fucking garage right now."
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, again, that's like the hard part is so it's like porchetta in the oven. Yeah, leave it there. But then it's like the porchetta. So the turkey finished. So you gotta wrap it, store it, however, throw it in the cooler, whatever. Porchetta finishes, and you gotta wrap that, store it, whatever. And then if you need the oven again, stuffing, whatever you're doing, then that shit's gotta go back in. And
Yeah.
it's just a lot of moving parts to do the two.
Yeah. It does. It feels like a lot. Like I said, I was thinking about it, but I mostly just really want to do a porchetta. But if I can do that whenever, right? Like I literally just go to the butcher shop and get a pork belly and just make it whenever I want. It doesn't need to be on Christmas. I don't need a holiday to
No,
make a porchetta.
nope.
So, but yeah, I mean, I was always going to do a prime rib for Christmas as well.
I was gonna say because that's the right answer. Because I've seen some people say that it's like here's my petition to make a porchetta for Christmas, and I'm like, yeah, I mean over a duck, a goose, a ham, like yeah, sure, but
Yeah.
the correct answer is prime rib.
Right.
Second would be a tenderloin. 2A would be a tenderloin. 2B would be like a spoon roast, whatever.
Yeah. And then, ooh, maybe that's an Easter thing.
I mean, I pretty much am just making porchetta like all the time now. Like that's like just like my go-to.
Yeah. I mean, porchetta might be a solid Easter replacement, right? Because like ham isn't great. I mean, ham, again, we've done this before. Ham is much better than turkey, but it's still not awesome. I'll at least eat ham, right? I won't eat turkey unless it's fried.
Well, so here's
Um,
the other thing. This it's and again, it's not for everyone. So if we were just to say like in an ideal world, everyone would just shut the fuck up and eat it. Like obviously because Thanksgiving's oh no turkey. Well, we're not having turkey. Oh, we're not going to do turkey this year. No turkey, turkey. Shut
yeah.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
I knew that would happen, and I just like skipped a step. Like I'm not dealing with this. Um, So I would actually say here is your power ratings. Number one for all of the holidays. Thanksgiving should be a porchetta. Christmas should be a prime rib. Easter should be a lamb, like a big lamb,
Yeah, like
whether
a
it's a
lamb
leg,
roast.
whatever. Um,
Remember that time I made a lamb freezer
yep.
and
I
threw
actually
it
kept it down too.
and threw it up everywhere?
Ugh, Saturdays.
Yeah. Woof.
Um, am I missing a holiday here? Like where food happens?
No, I mean, 4th of July is kind of like on
Yeah,
its
but Fourth
own
of July
thing.
is like
It's
just
like
it's
whatever.
whatever. It
Yeah.
literally is whatever you end up with
Right.
because burgers, dogs. It's like that's so burgers, dogs is the lazy way to go about it.
Right.
But I mean,
You could do ribs,
ribs,
pork tenderloin.
wings, pulled
Yeah.
pork,
Yeah. Yeah.
brisket.
Yep.
Um, there's no other really like food centric holidays. So I think, right? We're not missing anything super obvious, are we?
I don't think so. I think it's just the four of them.
No, because Halloween's candy.
Yeah.
Every other holiday doesn't have a meal or a food attached to it.
Right. Like you don't do anything for Labor Day.
Yeah, what's your Memorial Day food?
Yeah. Yeah. What do
Um,
you eat for Juneteenth? And don't say watermelon.
yeah,
I
that's in bad taste, despite watermelon being
was gonna
delicious.
say, despite watermelon being good in taste, that's just poor taste in
Poor
general.
taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, those would be like my power rankings, and then the only sleeper I have, and I don't know which holiday would fit in, but the rack of pork, which I think I made, I don't even remember. Did you guys come over for that one time?
Yeah, I think so.
It was like the bone-in pork. It's basically
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
pork
Yeah. Yeah.
ribeye
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the pork prime rib.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that exactly fits, but that is a super fucking underrated cut. So like I would actually say just because lamb isn't everyone's cup of tea, I would actually probably petition the rack of pork for um Easter. But truthfully, I mean there's no like rhyme or
Yeah.
reason really.
Yeah.
Or you just make porchetta prime rib porchetta and just that's what you do. I
Yeah.
mean, if you ever so the other piece too is if you have the correct cooking vessels and you were to get like a rotisserie spinner or whatever, then see that's the problem with you going prime rib and porchetta is you need separate cooking vessels.
Right.
And it's just got to be very calculated what you do there. But it's like if you have a dedicated piece, so like my turkey fryer for this past one, like that ended up working because the fryer takes all the attention and I don't even have to pay attention to the oven.
Right. Right.
So it's like if you had a rotisserie, you could throw the porchetta on the rotisserie, which I think that would make the most sense is rotisserie, the porchetta.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, cook the prime rib how you want it. Now you've got both.
Yeah. Yeah. I did I went with the reverse sear on the prime rib too. It came out
I'm in on the
pretty
reverse
solid.
here.
Yeah.
That's my way.
I
I don't
um
like I don't like the other way.
I forget how long. Again, it was small. It was only 3, 4 pounds. It might have been on the smoker. I think I put it at 225 for like maybe 3 hours. Um, Whatever it was. I used my meter probe. So again, between the meter probe and the Traeger, I don't have to fucking pay attention to anything other than like look at my phone and check on the temperature. Um, but I pulled it at 125, I think. And then I took beef tallow and melted it in a cast iron pan. And then I seared the sides of the prime rib in the cast iron. and then I put it in a tray and let it sit for like, 10 minutes before I cut it. And it came out fucking fantastic.
So normally when I do a prime rib, I normally do it in the oven. It's interesting, right? Like because I've had the big barrel smoker, I got the R2D2, now I have the Traeger, which I've only used twice. Which now I'm also thinking I'm like I don't know how to use the fucking thing because I did fucking forget about it. But anyway, I think as long as the hopper stays full, like you're good.
Yeah.
But then if the hopper empties, then you got to go back to the smoke setting because
Yeah,
then
because it'll
that
turn off.
because then that charges uh I guess I think that's the terminology they use. Like that charges the hopper, the smoke setting. So then once the smoke starts coming through, then you can turn it to the temperature you want. But that's when the hopper's empty, right? Does this sound familiar at all?
Yours might be a little bit different if it's newer.
Okay.
Um, Mine just, I set the temperature, hit ignite, and then it just goes to the
Yeah, for
temperature.
some reason I guess my hopper's more complicated because I think so when I first used it, it was like fill the hopper, put on the smoke setting. Once the smoke comes out, then you turn it to the heat you want, and that's how you like charge the hopper. And then obviously because mine went cold on me, I like dumped more things in, turned it to the temperature, and it like didn't go. So then I had to go back to like the smoke setting,
Oh, yeah.
like recharge the hopper, reload the hopper, whatever the fuck they call it. Then I could go to the temperature I wanted. Then we were good.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't have to do that. I literally just turn it on, turn the little dial to whatever temperature I want, push the ignite button, and then it goes from there.
Yeah, I don't have an ignite button. That might be my problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So they probably changed whatever. I mean, I
Or
bought
be I
this
so I
in
ended up
2000 in
getting
2021 when we redid the house. When we didn't have a kitchen, I just cooked. I used the smoker for everything while the house was under construction. The smoker and the grill. So,
I ended up getting like there's like the most basic Traeger because in 3.5 years of my big barrel smoker, I used it like once. And it's just there isn't enough food for me to cook.
yeah.
And I don't want the Wi-Fi thing. So, and then I think there is
Yeah,
an
see,
upgraded.
mine's connected to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, mine isn't, which I again I would be looking at this is the thing, like I'm either looking at it or I'm not, whether it's on Wi-Fi or whether it's manual. And I know for me, I'm like I'd rather just kind of handle it myself.
Yeah.
Um, plus the Wi I think the Wi-Fi setting was like another three, $350. And I like looked at it, I go, what the fuck is the difference here?
Yeah.
And I think it was just Wi-Fi. Unless you went for like the upgraded model. Um, which I don't know. I forget why I didn't go for that one. Anyway, but yeah, so like I just have like the basic simple model, so I don't know, maybe it's stupid, but I'm also stupid again because I lost fucking track of it.
So, um, all right. Well, to shift away from food, I guess, for a second, but I technically still kind of keep on the theme of Thanksgiving in a way. Um, I saw more than one person um, that we went to high school with were posting about Medford High School football winning the GBL, right? And everyone was posting about beating Malden on Thanksgiving Day. So for anyone that listens and you're not from Medford or Malden in that area, we actually have the third oldest rivalry, I believe, in the country, behind Boston Latin, Boston English, and then like I think it's like Leominster, and like someone else. I don't know who Leominster Fitchburg, maybe. Leominster
It's
Fitchburg
something random.
is like number two, and then Medford Malden is the third oldest rivalry in the country, right? So it's, whatever. It's kind of a big deal, but it's not that big of a deal. It's high school football. So Medford beat Malden, right? So the whole thing, the other background to it is again, when we were in high school, Medford High football was very bad. And it was very bad for a really long time. From like 2004 until 2009. It was very bad. 2009 was my senior year. We went 500. We went 5-5. We had more wins in that one year than like the previous 6 years combined, right? Because there was one year, I think my sophomore year, which would have been your senior year, I think we went 0-10. There was an over year in there somewhere. Um,
When I was in high school, the football team won 4 total games.
okay, yeah.
I think it was a
So,
1-0-2-1.
yep. So, yeah, my freshman year we won 2 games, and one of them was Thanksgiving Day. So I think my sophomore year was over, and then my junior year was one. Um, and then my senior year was five, but we lost on Thanksgiving. Um, so again, we went 5-5 in '09. And like I said, it was the most successful season that Medford High football had since like, again, you know, 2000, right? 2002, I don't even know. It was a long time. It was like 7 or 8 years since we'd had a 500 or better record. Um, so then after me, I don't think they were very good for a couple years, and then they started to turn around and they started to get a little bit better, right? But again, regardless. So when we were in high school, the team was very bad. So again, there's kids posting a kid where they're adults now. We're in our 30s, right? We're firmly in our 30s at this point. Um, there are grown adults in their 30s posting about Medford High football beating Malden on Thanksgiving Day and celebrating winning the GBL as if like,
First time since 1985.
yeah, yeah, as if it's something to like they're gonna take part in. Right? Like, oh yeah, look, yeah, Medford Mustangs. Yeah, we won the GBL. We? Dude, you graduated 15 years ago. Like, I've been out of high school for 15 years, right? 2009 was my senior season in football. It's 2024. That was 15 fucking years ago. And there's kids again that are like, I keep saying kids, but we're not kids. There's people, right, that are posting like, "Oh, we did it." We we didn't do shit. We were terrible. We went 5-5 my senior year, and it was like the greatest thing ever. We were walking around the high school, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, you're on the football team. Yeah, you're great." And we're like, "Wow, this is what it's like to be part of a football team that doesn't fucking blow." And it's like, I don't know, right? Like, so that's my thing. We sucked. We weren't good 15 years ago. So you gloating about Medford High winning the GBL now seems a little out of place, right? Because you also have nothing to do with the team. You're not a coach. You're not an assistant coach, right? Like you're not around the team, right? You're just taking the opportunity to gloat, I guess. Relive the glory days. Yeah, whatever. Like, okay, cool. Secondly, the people that are posting it, you weren't that good either, right? Like they were better, like they played, right? They actually played. One of them was pretty good, right? But none of them played football in college, right? So like, how good were you? Right? You couldn't even play D3. Like, I mean, Bill Jones and Dickey played D3 football at Bridgewater, right? Like they played. And yeah, these kids from Medford High people from Medford High that are posting about how awesome it is that we won the GBL. You weren't that good, right? Again, we sucked. It was 15 fucking years ago. And the kicker on this is in 2024, the GBL has four teams in it. It's Medford, Malden, Somerville, Cambridge. That's it. When we were in high school, I think the GBL had 10 or 12. Well, when you were in high school, they might have had 12. I think
So my freshman year was before
before Peabody left, right? It
Revere
was,
and Peabody left.
yeah. So Revere and Peabody left your after your freshman year.
I believe so.
And then when I came in, I think we were down to 10. And I think by the time I graduated, we were down to eight or six, maybe. Maybe it was six. But now it's four. And the other fun fact here is Everett's no longer in the GBL. Right. So Everett won the
Yeah.
GBL for fucking 30 years in a row. Right. Like it wasn't even close. Um, there might have been one year sprinkled in there where Cambridge had won and maybe Malden won. I think Malden was really good one year. Um, but for the better part of like 2 decades, it was just Everett. That's it. Right? Like it was just Everett. And now Everett's gone. So now obviously someone else needs to win the GBL. So for people to be like, "Oh wow, look Medford, oh we won. We won the GBL. Look how good we are." Not we, not you. And there's only four teams and Everett's not one of them anymore.
You want to know the best detail about that?
What is it?
Medford didn't play Cambridge. They won the GBL by going 2-0.
Fantastic. So what, they played Malden and Somerville?
Yep.
Yeah.
They also Medford High football, they were 6-5. For Medford, that's pretty commendable.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And I do know like I do like they beat up on Chelsea one game, but like I understand now shit's just fucking weird because if you don't make the playoffs, you just have to like schedule games with whoever's available.
Right.
Can I just so 6-5, right? Can I
Yep.
just name one of these teams and you can tell me if you've ever heard of it or if you know where it is. Northeast Metro RVT probably stands for Regional Voc Tech.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that school?
Nope.
Therefore, you definitely don't know where it is. So how about this? You have no you've never heard of it. I've never heard of it.
No.
Wakefield. A school in Wakefield we've never heard of.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Who the fuck? What the who the fuck schedule? And I don't know if that was like a hey, we got to play somebody.
Yeah.
Let's just get a team. It looked kind of early in the season.
I was gonna guess in like the Ipswich area, like
That's
that,
kind of what
like
I thought.
like
If we've never
Hamilton,
heard of it, or
Wenham,
like
yeah,
Swampscott, like
Amesbury, like up that way.
Wakefield, school in Wakefield, we've never heard of.
Yeah, Wakefield. We're
We're not
pretty
that far from
familiar.
Wakefield.
Yeah, pretty familiar with that town too. My mother lived there for like 4 years.
Yep, never heard of it. It's almost like yeah, you guys scheduled Charleston Southern,
Yeah,
Youngstown State.
yeah, because they're also not Division 1 anymore either. What are they? Division 4,
I
3 or
don't know,
4?
dude. The divisions are all fucked these days. Like they're so fucked. It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah,
So I don't even want to like I don't even want to throw that in their face because the MIAA really fucking fucked that all up.
they ruined high school football when they created that retarded playoff schedule where like the playoffs start before Thanksgiving, but then the playoffs pause so everyone can play their Thanksgiving game, and then the playoffs pick up again after Thanksgiving. It's like that is the most retarded thing I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah, it's really stupid. Like they really should never have done that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out, and you know what? You can't even have a real fucking website. I'm trying to figure out who the fuck is playing.
Well, the headquarters is in Franklin. I can take a quick trip up. I actually drove by where their headquarters is last weekend. I needed to go to Staples in Bellingham to sign up for TSA pre-check. And oh, it
I
was
should probably do
Friday.
that.
It was Friday. So that's why. So it was Black Friday, right? So for me to get to Bellingham, normally really easy. Just shoot up Route 1A to 495, like through Rentham, right? Past the Rentham outlets. Well, guess where I was not going anywhere near on Black Friday was the Rentham outlets. So I got to take myself a nice little backroads trip up to Bellingham. And in my travels, I cut through Franklin, and like I came out of like one of the very many industrial parks in Franklin, and there was the MIAA headquarters sign was on the road with like an arrow pointing somewhere. So I was like, oh hey, it's the MIAA. So yeah, they absolutely ruined high school football in Massachusetts with this new
And then
schedule.
like, and then here's and so not only is the schedule stupid, I'm just gonna go through this really quickly. Like if people want to care about these divisions, which they're meaningless now.
Isn't there like
Now
eight
they're
divisions?
I'm seeing seven.
Okay.
Mhm. So just the Super Bowl, Division One, Zavarian and Needham. Okay, fine, no problem.
Yep.
Like Division Two, CM versus King Philip. CM plays Zavarian, St. John's Prep,
Yeah.
MC, BC High, Milton Academy. Like they play a Catholic conference and an ISL fucking schedule.
Yeah.
Division Two. Now KP is good. Like
Right.
they're kind of there year in and year out.
Subzo.
Right.
I drove by his house too. He's got a beautiful fucking house.
Which then, so KP, I mean it's a regional school, right?
Yeah.
Division Three, Mansfield,
Right.
North Attleboro. How are those teams not playing against KP? Like how are like they're fucking right next to each other.
Yeah. How are they not in the same division?
Like how are they not the same division? And I know the answer. It's school size. But
Yeah, but
I'm
even
thinking it's
still,
also kind of not.
Rentham and Plainville. We did this last week, right? Rentham and Plainville are so small that if you combine them, right? Because that's King Philip. It's Rentham and Plainville.
But I think there's also like I think kids from Franklin could go like because I don't know what the hell it is with the regional school. Like almost anybody can go.
Oh,
I
well, because
think.
Franklin has a high school.
Right. But it's the same thing. Like some people choose not to go to like there are kids from West Bridgewater that do go to uh BR. They skip West Bridgewater. And then there's like kids from regular Bridgewater, they won't go to BR, they'll go to East Bridgewater because there's choice within like all of the things.
Okay, yeah. So some, I think that's a municipality thing. So
It is. It
some
is.
municipalities allow for school choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, KP is Rentham,
Norfolk, the town that I can
Norfolk.
never pronounce.
I don't know.
Norfolk.
Norfolk?
Norfolk.
Is it
Nor
Norfolk or is it Norfolk?
I think it's Norfolk.
Suffolk? Suffolk County? This is like, have I ever sent you the guy on Instagram that does the pronunciation stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
This is it. Like, okay, say this. Norfolk. No, 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 no. Norfolk. Okay, now say this one. Suffolk. No. KP 1142 kids. Really quick, can I do
I
this?
feel like that's roughly the same as North Attleboro.
Mansfield High, about 1300. So
Yeah,
it's a bigger school in a
yeah,
lower division. It makes no fucking sense.
yeah.
And like honestly, if KP wasn't like a good football program, CM would never fucking lose the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
because they moved Mansfield out. Because that was another thing. Mansfield generally good at football. Nope, move them
right,
out.
right.
Move them to three.
Yeah,
Like
North Attleboro has 1,100 kids.
they're all the same. They're the same fucking thing. They're in the same part of this. They're in the
Same
same
part of the
part of the
state,
state.
same school
Roughly the
size.
same enrollment,
Yeah, but they're in two different divisions.
but they're in different divisions.
Yeah, doesn't make any
And
sense.
like, and then that's the thing. CM's a Division 2 school, but they're in a Division 1 conference. They're in the Catholic conference.
Yeah, and
So it's like, why the fuck did you do
I
this?
guarantee you, CM does not have 1,000 students.
Definitely not. Zavarian probably doesn't either.
Yeah,
But then if you said like, oh well, Zavarian based on school size is going to be Division 3, it's like, what?
yeah. So Catholic Memorial is 7 to 12. They have an extra grade in there. There's 600 kids. They're half the
So
size.
Zavarian is 7 to 12, and they have 1,000. So it's like, yes, these are like smaller schools. So why the fuck is Zavarian 1 and Catholic Memorial 2?
Yeah,
And you could be like, oh, well, Catholic Memorial's smaller. But Mansfield has 1,300 kids and they're three.
yeah,
They're bigger than all these schools.
yeah, yeah.
Makes no fucking
It doesn't
sense.
make any sense. And then Brockton, I don't know what Brockton has now, but back in the day, Brockton had like 3,000 kids.
Yeah, they had like 1,000 a fucking grade.
Yeah.
Medford High used back like what
Well, back when our
back when
parents
we
were at
had,
Medford
I would say
High,
when there were racial issues too,
that's
although
why
that
all the
spanned 20 years.
lockers that were in the
Yeah,
school were so small,
yeah,
is
because they had
because
a thousand
they
kids a
had a
grade.
thousand kids in every grade. It's fucking absurd.
It's even worse if it's actually 1,200 per grade, which I think some grades were closer to 1,200 because now it's 5,000 kids in the school,
Yeah,
not 4,000,
yeah.
5,000.
Oh yeah. So the current enrollment for, well, last year for 23 to 24 at Brockton High School, 3,600 kids.
That's a lot of
And that's
fucking
only
kids.
nine
Holy
nine to
shit.
12. Grades 9 through 12. So a
That's a
traditional high school.
lot of kids.
So yeah, I mean CM has two extra grades then, if they include 7 and 8, right? I for some reason forgot that eighth grade isn't part of high school. Um, so CM has two extra grades and they only have 600 kids. That's wild. 3,600 kids. What are you looking at?
I looked up if I could quickly find what the
Yeah, Medford High has
MIAA.
1,300.
Ooh, that's small because they have double the amount of people as Mansfield. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Does that mean Medford has more old people?
Or well, so it probably goes
Or
back.
it's
More
also
people leave.
there's more other opportunities, right? Medford,
Yeah,
that was always a thing with us. We lost all the athletes
yeah.
to Arlington Catholic, Malden Catholic, Mattanon.
Aston,
Although I don't think
Austin
Mattanon's
Prep.
even
That's not
still
even
a
a school
school.
anymore.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
Austin
Austin Prep
Prep.
was a big one. Even BC
Um,
High, right? I think there was a couple kids
yes,
from Medford that
some
went to
kids would
BC
go.
High.
Wasn't too hard to take the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I tried to look up quickly like what goes to it, and I guess according to Google's AI, their experimental generative AI, they use a competitive equity modifier, which takes into account English language learners, public assistance, SNAP. I don't know what that is.
Food
Transitional aid,
stamps.
mass health, homelessness, foster care to assess a school's true population. Stability rate, a percentage that measures how many students remain in the school district throughout the year, with a higher percentage indicating more stability. High needs modifier, a sliding scale based on the state percentage of high need students, taking into accounts like economic disadvantage. Goal of fairness, the MIA aims to create divisions where schools with similar challenges and student demographics compete against each other rather than just relying on overall student population. Actually, so those four things are actually
That actually
intelligent.
kind of makes sense.
Those make sense.
So the reason why
What
CM
doesn't make
is Division
sense,
Two is because they're a tiny school, but they probably don't have a lot of kids with disabilities. They have people that come from money, right? Because it's a private Catholic school, and they don't have kids that drop out again because see above private Catholic
right?
school. So
So that, and that's the thing is like, so if you
maybe if they
take,
had 750 kids, they could be Division One.
yeah, whatever it is, but yeah, like all of those things make sense. But then you tell me that KP is a Division 2 school and Mansfield, North Attleboro are Division 3 schools. I'm going to be like, so you're going to tell me on those four things that they're those three districts specifically
Yeah,
are different divisions? I'm sorry, just from the outsider looking in, they don't seem that different to me.
yeah, they don't. They definitely don't.
Especially when the bigger school is in the lower division.
Yeah. Let me look up Attleboro. So Attleboro High School has 1,900 kids. And oh, that's weird. They don't list what division they're in. They have an athletics tab. Um,
It might also be different for different sports.
they compete in the Hockomock League,
That
which
means it's 2 or 3.
now I have to click on the Hockomock League. They're Division One,
Who is?
Attleboro. The
This
the
makes no
Hockomock
fucking
League
sense.
is D1.
No, it's not because Mansfield's in it.
That's what it says on
There's no
the
such so
Wikipedia.
this is what changed. There's no such thing as a Division 1 league
Oh, okay. So
because
the division can have
I want to
different.
say KP is also in the Hawk.
Yeah, they are.
So Mansfield Division 3,
North Attleboro's in it too. So
they're
it's
Division 3.
Taunton,
KP's 2.
Taunton, Attleboro,
Taunton's definitely 1.
North Attleboro, Mansfield, OA, Sharon, Stoughton, Canton, Foxborough, KP, Franklin, and Milford.
Yeah, those schools are all over the place. I would
That's
not be
huge.
surprised if
That's a
Sharon's
big
probably a
league.
3. Sharon's probably 3. They probably should be 4
Yeah.
because they probably get minimal athletic participation as well, which would affect their competitive formula or competitive part of the formula.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, OA is 2 and Mansfield is 3. They fucking right next to each other
Oh, dude, shout out to Jim Craig, local
from
guy.
Easton.
Yeah, he went to OA. They have a tab on Wikipedia for notable Hockomock athletes. So I clicked on it. Jim Craig is number one. Obviously, Anthony Sherman's on the list. Peter Laviolette. I didn't know that. He was from Franklin. Lofa Tatupu played at King Philip. I
I
feel
knew
like
that.
I knew that. Hmm. Well, that's it for notable athletes.
Yeah, that's kind of where it ends.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, kind of like my original point, though, is we went down a rabbit hole there. I don't understand why people were posting about Medford winning the GBL as if it matters, right?
It
Like,
doesn't. Doesn't. It's not a real thing.
yeah.
Just
But
don't.
also, again, like you're 32 years old
Yeah,
posting about this. And again, you're not a coach, you're not an assistant coach.
that's the thing.
You haven't played football for Medford High in 15 years.
I had a garage to not blow up, and it's like this is the other thing. It's like if you went to a real school, like if you went to Zavarian
Yeah,
and you win Division 1 Super Bowls and you want to be proud of that, like
right,
cool.
right.
You know, if you went to an actual college and you want to celebrate fucking mean, no, like no one around here goes to Clemson, but like,
Yeah, but like you went to Vanderbilt, right? And the baseball team wins the College World Series.
so yeah, it's cool, but
Like
like, don't
that's
come at me
cool.
about baseball
Right,
because no one gives a fuck.
right,
Plus,
right.
they're fucking nasty every year.
Yeah.
Um, this is the thing. It's like it's almost being like, hey, Bridgewater Bears made the tournament in women's soccer this year. It's like
Yeah,
what?
yeah. Oh, Bridgewater
Who
Bears,
fucking
Mass
cares?
CAC champs. It's like, hey man, I don't give a shit. It's D3 college
Couldn't care
football.
less.
Like I don't.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not even good Division 3 football.
I went there for 6 years. I get it, right? I paid them a lot of money, but like I don't really care.
That's the thing. It's not a fucking NESCAC school,
Yeah, yeah,
and even then, they don't even like their athletes.
yeah. Well, because that's the other thing too, right? Like again, I haven't lived in Medford like permanently since I was 18 years old.
Yeah, same here.
So what am I? I'm 30. I'm gonna be 33, right? So what is that? 33 minus
18.
18. That's
Oh,
15
15
years.
years.
So I've still spent more time in Medford than anywhere else. That feels super weird to me because I haven't been there in so long. Um, but yeah, I've been a non-Medford resident for 15 years. Dude, like I don't care about Medford High football. Because then again, I don't have any connection to anyone on the team. Like after I
Yeah.
graduated high school, right? Like I had one connection on the team, which was Clovis. Still, he was still on the team. So like I would go back and watch the Thanksgiving game to watch Clovis. But once he graduated, I officially knew no one on the team. Like, what am I going to do? Go to watch a high school football game where I don't know anyone? Like, that's kind of creepy, right? Like, uh, yeah,
Yeah, dude.
like I have no connection. Like, and I don't work for a gym, right? Like you, right? Like I'm not trying to go to support my athletes. I don't have any connection to college athletics where I'm trying to recruit anybody. Like for me to just go and sit and watch a high school football game, especially in Massachusetts, like, dude, that's creepy. Now, if we lived in Texas, yeah,
Be
that's
different.
like a thing, right? Like high school or Florida, right? Like high school football is a real thing. Like the high school football stadiums in Texas are huge. I think there's one that's bigger than Gillette, like seats wise.
Could
It
be. I
doesn't
mean,
have all the amenities,
it
but
would
it holds more
be
people. Because I think Gillette only holds like 60,000 or
I was gonna say
65,000.
I'd be surprised, but at the same time, not that surprised.
Yeah. Like I said, too, it probably doesn't have the amenities, right? It probably doesn't have a concession stand every 6 feet. Um,
Yeah. I mean, unless it's like a stadium in Dallas or like because that's the problem is usually you don't have stadiums that big because the New England Patriots are fucking 6 states of
right,
the region.
right.
Every town has a high school.
Yeah,
And I'm sure some of these towns or because it would be a city that we're talking about, some of these cities will have multiple high schools, like the same way Boston has multiple high schools.
right, right. All right, let me see. Melissa High School in Texas has over 1,300 students. They're 10,000 seat, $35 million stadium. Um, I just want to know. I don't know why I bother trying to look things up anymore when I should just go straight to ChatGPT. How many seats is the biggest high school?
So I'm seeing Hawaii has a stadium capacity 23,000. I think that might be the biggest one. That's what my sources are telling me.
The largest high school football stadium in the United States by seating capacity, this is probably contiguous, is Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon, Ohio. It can accommodate over 16,000 spectators and can expand to over 19,000 with additional seating.
Yeah, okay, we're not going to get a consensus on this one because I see 23,000, 22,400, 21,400, 20,000,
Yeah. So
18.
so they're not bigger than Gillette. That was made up. That was a Vinny fact. Um, but still, a high school football stadium that can hold 15,000 people, that's the Garden. That's the TD Garden, right? Like
Yeah,
the TD
close.
Garden is what, 14, 15,000,
Um,
or is it 17?
See, I thought we were between 17 and 18,
I think it
but
depends. I think it can go up to
it
that. Like
depends
I
if it's
think for a
basketball or
concert,
hockey or
I think for a
concert.
concert you can fit like 18, but if it's hockey, I think hockey fits the least amount of people because you have to deal with the boards and everything. And basketball, the seats go right down to the court. Let's see, what is the seating capacity?
17,800. Just under 18,000
Yeah.
for the Bruins. Just under 20 for the whole stadium, arena, whatever.
Yeah, 19.5 for concerts, 19.1 for basketball, 17.8 for hockey games. So yeah. Yeah, don't care about Medford High football. Just don't. Okay. You want to wrap this up? It's about that time.
We can wrap this up.
All right.
Um, so in my searches of I wanted to get I'm upgrading like almost everything in my fucking kitchen, but I wanted to get a new knife, right?
Hmm.
Kitchen knife, chef's knife, whatever. The one I have is, I mean, I actually have no issues. I was just like, there's probably a better one somewhere. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, fuck, like seriously though, like before I buy a knife, I probably need like a legitimate sharpener, not like whatever. Because again, like seriously, what good is an expensive knife if it's not sharp?
Yeah, you know how many times I've kicked around buying one of those like tumbler ones that's like $150?
Is tumbler a knife or a sharpener?
That's a sharpener.
Okay, I have no idea what that is.
No, don't
That's
worry.
a,
You'll
that.
you'll get a million ads
Yeah,
on
now
Instagram
now
now.
we'll have it. So the consensus seemed to be that the stone is your best bet. So I looked it up kind of quickly, and Amazon makes it very simple. Like, here's the stone. You can flip it over. You have one grit, you have a second grit, and like here's a guide. Because the other thing too is like some knives are 15, some knives are 17, some knives are 20.
Right,
The consensus on that seems to be as long as it's fucking consistent, it doesn't matter if it's 15, 17, 20, whatever. Like it should
right.
be fine. So yeah, I bought a whetstone or a whetstone kit. Um came came like legit overnight. Like we ordered it last night and by the time I woke up today it was here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fucking Amazon. Um and I just gave it like one quick run. And so the other thing too is like with the whetstone, you're probably going to scuff up some knives. So it makes no fucking sense to buy your $100+ knife
Right,
just so you end up like kind of fucking it up a little bit.
right.
Um, so yeah, I mean, it seems like definitely some reps are needed, but I mean, fucking easy enough, cheap enough, and I guess like again, people don't like the automatic ones because I think too they obviously they do the work for you, but some of them don't do a good job. And I think there's some very fine things that could go. It's not just easy as like put it down.
Right,
Like
right.
the angle's got to be correct and this and that, whatever. I don't know. I'm like, whatever. I'll just get the whetstone. I used to sharpen knives with a stone, like a very small stone back in the day. Um, See, I mean, again, it seems easy enough. It probably takes some practice, and I mean, it comes with the little guides. So really doesn't make it that difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because literally like last week I almost pulled the trigger on that fucking tumbler thing. It's effectively like you get two I can't think of the name of it. I'm sure if I scroll long enough on Instagram I'll see it because I get a million ads for it. But it's the knife is a magnet to like a block, and it's at either I think it's like 15 or 20 degrees, and then it's just a little roller, and you just roll this thing along the edge of the knife back and forth, and one side is the sharpening side, and then one side is like the conditioning edge or whatever, and you just roll it back and forth a couple times on one, flip it over, stick it back to
Yep.
the magnet.
Okay. I see it.
Yeah, I don't know what it's actually called, but
Yeah, Tumblr.
oh, okay, all right, yeah, there it is. There you have it.
Tumblr's a brand.
Yeah,
Um, I guess its name would be like a rolling knife sharpener.
yeah. But I think that's like 150 bucks, something like that. It was expensive when I went to look at it, and I was like, I don't know if I want to spend that much money on a fucking knife
I
sharpener.
believe the little kit I got was less than $30.
Yeah, I
But
might
yeah, you
be.
need to, but that's the thing is you need to do it
You need
manually.
to
Like
practice. Yeah.
but this is the thing. It's like, so yes, it scuffed up the knife a little bit. I think both the little guide thing because it like sticks onto the back.
Hmm.
So I was using it, and this is probably on me because it's like I put it like in the middle, but I'm like, oh well, whatever. So I like slide it up or slide it down. So like that left a mark, which is fine. I don't really care.
Yeah.
We're talking about a $40 Victorinox knife here. Like it was always like dubbed like the best of the cheap.
Yeah.
That knife. That's
Yeah.
and that's how it's always kind of been
Yeah.
pegged. So yeah, it's like it's gonna scuff it up a little bit. It's like I didn't want to spend $130 on like a fucking Wusthof without knowing how to fucking
Right.
sharpen the fucking thing.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that takes so like a little bit of that, and then like my knife was sharper than when I started today. Like that's fucking for damn sure. Now I don't know if I can take paper and cut like little ribbons out and whatever, but I'm like, it was sharper than when I started
Yeah.
and better than the last thing I had. Because I just had something that would just like kind of like drag it through a couple times,
Yeah.
and
I
it's
had like
like,
the V thing, and you
yeah,
stick it in and then pull it. I don't
yeah,
like that. I think there's two sides. There's a fine edge and a coarse edge. I think the coarse edge ruined my old knife.
it might have. See, this is what I mean though. It's like the other pieces, like they say, it's like, oh, it just goes in at the V, and it's like, but then you're forcing it through. At least with
Right.
like the stone, it's like you're kind of like moving it through. I don't know.
Right.
So I don't know. I got the stone
There's another
again.
one too. I get all these ads now, but there's another one too where it's almost in you put the knife in like a vice grip on a table, and then you have like a hinge. So it's a stone on a hinge, and it's like apparently it's got like perfect angles or whatever the dimensions are, and you vice grip the knife into the grip, right? And then you pull this stone down, and you just spin it back and forth, and that's it. And then you flip it over, and then you do it again, and then you're good to go. That was another one that I was looking at. Because like I can't fucking stand dull knives. Like
Well, a couple things. Number one, it makes your life a lot more difficult. That's also when
and
you
it's
cut
more
yourself.
dangerous.
That's when
Yeah.
you cut yourself a
Well,
dull
that's
knife.
I forget which, there's a TV chef that says it all the time. I don't think it's Bobby Flay, but one of them always goes, "Oh, a sharp knife is a safe knife." Might be Guy Fieri. I don't know. But there's one because I watch a lot of the
It's true
Food
though.
Network, but they always say a sharp knife is a safe knife,
Yeah.
which is true. Because then
Multiple
you're not
reasons.
like
Well,
putting
yeah,
like
you don't
muscle
have to
into
try as
it.
hard.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're not putting as much force.
You're not gonna slip, right? And fucking cut your
And
finger.
that's the thing, like then it's not going to slip or the food's not it's just going to cut.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, yes, if you have a sharp knife and you're lightly cutting and you just drop it down on your thumb,
Like, yeah, yeah.
might be in trouble. But
Like, hey,
last
maybe
I
get your
checked,
fucking thumb out of the
you're not
way.
supposed to be fucking cutting your thumb.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think the idea with the stone is if you have a decent knife and you know what you're doing with the stone, then you don't actually have to do it very frequently.
yeah.
But I'll probably have to do it somewhat frequently to like learn
I'll have to look into
and
the
like getting it.
whetstone because it's significantly cheaper than those other ones that I was looking
Yeah, I
at
mean,
that
on
Instagram was
Amazon,
telling me.
yeah, I mean, and on Amazon, they're super fucking cheap.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Um, so my final thought is actually this is a good segue. Has to do with the insanity that is Black Friday and Cyber Monday now. So years ago, right? And now here's my old man yelling at a cloud moment. So just forgive me here, but um, years ago, it used to be Black Friday was the day after Thanksgiving, right? And you needed to be in store to get all of the discounts. People would line up. It originally started like years ago, right? Like, oh, you'd go at 3 a.m., right? 4 a.m. Places would open up on Black Friday. Then all of a sudden it was midnight on Black Friday. It was like, all right, cool. Like we've got to get there at midnight. And then a couple of years ago, it was places are going to open up at 4 o'clock on Thanksgiving, right? 5 o'clock on Thanksgiving night. And then you're like, okay, all right. I mean, it's Thanksgiving Day, right? Now people are going to have to go to work, right, at 5 o'clock on Thanksgiving night for their Black Friday sales. But okay, whatever. And now I think COVID accelerated this, so the pandemic, and all the lockdowns and everything. Now Black Friday has become an online thing, right? Where online access. And now, in particular, this year, Black Friday has not only become online, but it's been all week. So starting last week, I was getting emails about, oh, Black Friday sales, Black Friday deals all week. This week, this starts now. Black Friday deals. Get your Black Friday. The prices are never going to be lower. Get your Black Friday deals now. I'm like, okay, all right, fine, whatever. Like I just kind of I peruse. Like I ended up buying like two things on Friday, right? Like I was putzing around Amazon all week. Like I don't want to just spend money to spend money, right? Like well, do I really need it? Do I not? And then a couple things were gifts, so I got those. But like, you know, almost like, what are we doing here, right? And then on Friday, right on Black Friday, I get emails from everyone. Like you're talking like you put your phone down, you pick it up, and you got 15 emails, right? My phone was down for like 7 minutes, right? And I got 15 emails. It, I actually, it's annoying, but I don't hate that sort of thing because it shows me how many, how many companies I'm subscribed to for their emails, and I just start unsubscribing to a bunch of different shit. Because a lot of it is like shared cookies, right? So if you buy something from like Bass Pro, right? They'll share your information with like 15 other companies. So you get emails from like Granger, right? And you're like, I never signed up for emails from Granger, but you bought something at Bass Pro. And their terms and conditions allow them to share your info with Granger, right? So you get like a million different random fucking things. So I get a million emails on Friday, right? That go, sales end tonight. Black Friday deals, Black Friday week ends tonight. Prices are never going to be lower. I'm like, okay. And that's why I finally bought like two things on Friday. And I was like, fine, whatever. I'll just buy them. So I go, all right, cool. In my head, knowing too, like, oh, yeah, there'll be Cyber Monday stuff too. Because that's what, again, to backtrack, used to be Black Friday was in person. Cyber Monday didn't even exist, right? Probably like 10, 15 years ago. Um, but Then it became Cyber Monday, right? So Black Friday was one day in person, day after Thanksgiving. Cyber Monday was everything online only on Monday. And then eventually it became the week, right? And now here we are in 2024. Again, on Friday, I get emails, everything ends today, do this, do that, whatever. Cool. On Saturday morning, I have 32 emails that I wake up to and I look and they go, half of them say Cyber Monday deals start now. Or did you miss Black Friday? Don't worry, we extended Black Friday through the weekend. The fuck are we doing? And then on Monday, it's going to be Cyber Monday, right? And then everything is Cyber Monday all week. Deals are all week. And it's like, what the fuck is happening? Because they're still running the old school marketing style where it's like, you have to buy this now because the sale's going to go away, right? But like we all know that it's not.
Yeah, it's all, and then never mind. Hmm.
Like that's marketing 101. It's create the urgency, right? Like
Think,
create urgency for the purchase. So if you say this is on sale, but the sale ends tonight at midnight, people are more likely to buy before tonight at midnight. But like they're still running that style of marketing, that urgency marketing, but we all know that it's a crock of shit. Like I have 2 weeks to buy this shit because you're going to give me Black Friday deals for a week online, and then you're going to give me Cyber Monday deals for a week.
yeah, and I think the one thing I've noticed is Amazon actually does a little bit of a better job of it. So it's like if you want something, like the Black Friday deal does actually seem to go away
Yeah,
on Amazon.
yeah,
But if you go to a store that's doing like, 50% off, well, next week they're going to have 40% off.
yeah,
Like that's kind of what I've seen,
yeah,
like a lot. Or like I get a lot of emails from Greenworks. That's like the battery powered lawn and garden stuff I have.
yeah,
And it's like special of the day, save 50% on this. And the Black Friday deal was 50% off select things. It's all the same
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
And I'm sure leading up to Christmas, they're going to be offering me 50% off these few things, last chance.
yeah, yeah. Last minute Christmas gifts. Here's 40% off. So yeah, it's just I just thought it was hilarious, right? Like I woke up on Saturday morning and was like, what the fuck? You're either literally half of my emails were either extending Black Friday through the weekend or Cyber Monday starts now. So all those emails, those 117 emails that I got on Friday, they were trying to create some urgency here. We're just full of shit.
Yep.
So whatever. Right. Again, what this is these aren't real problems, Charlie. Um, but it's just one of those things that I had noticed and it's annoying. So I figured I would yell about it for a little bit to make myself feel better. All right. Well, that's gonna do it. So thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit subscribe up above. Hit the thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you're an audio only guy as well. Leave us 5 stars in a review if you are on Spotify and iTunes. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. The website is sarcasmspeaks.com. Check out the show notes, support the sponsors, support us. And until next time, good night, everybody.